Let's talk about a word you've probably said a million times without thinking twice about it. Cake. I mean, it seems so simple, so everyday. But what if I told you that this little word is actually hiding a ton of complexity? We're going to dive in and see what's really going on. Seriously, think about it for a second. Cake. It's one of those words that just is. It reminds you of birthdays, parties, and nice dessert. It feels completely straightforward, doesn't it? Well, that's exactly the idea we're about to turn on its head. So check this out. The word cake is officially part of the Basic English 850 list. Now, this is a specially curated group of words that are supposed to be the absolute cornerstones of the English language. So if it's so basic, why are we spending all this time on it? Well, that's the puzzle, isn't it? Here's our game plan. We're going to start with why it seems so simple. Then we'll explore its many, many lives as a noun. After that, we'll see how it becomes an abstract idea, and then we'll uncover its secret identity as a verb. And finally, we'll figure out why this ridiculously complex word is actually considered so foundational. Okay, first things first, let's just look at the word on the surface. What makes us all think it's so incredibly simple? Well, for starters, just say it. Cake. It's about as easy as it gets, right? It's just one little syllable. Clean, simple, to the point. There are no tricky sounds, no weird spellings. It feels like the perfect, easy-to-learn word. But that's kind of a trick. And this is where we start to peel back the layers. We all think we know what a cake is as a noun, but it turns out it's leading a double or even triple life. So this is the one we all know and love, the sweet, baked dessert. This is the birthday cake, the wedding cake, the image that pops into all of our heads. It's definitely the most common use, but believe me, it is just the beginning. But then the definition starts to stretch. Suddenly, a cake isn't just a sweet dessert. Think about it. It can be savory, like a fish cake, or starchy, like a rice cake. The most important thing isn't sweetness anymore. It's the shape. It's just a flat, formed block of food. And then the word just walks right out of the kitchen entirely. A cake of soap has absolutely nothing to do with eating. Here, the word just means a hard, solid block of, well, anything. We went from a birthday dessert to a bar of soap. That is a wild journey for one little noun. So we've seen cake as a physical object in 3 pretty different ways. But you know what? The word doesn't stop there. It actually makes this huge leap from being a literal thing to becoming a figurative idea. I mean, you've heard this 1,000 times, right? When somebody says the test was a piece of cake, they're not telling you they got a slice of chocolate fudge for getting a good grade. They're using the word to talk about something totally different. It's an idiom. That positive, easy, enjoyable feeling of eating a piece of cake gets transferred over to describe any task that's just as simple and effortless. So now the word carries this abstract meaning of ease. Pretty cool, right? All right, get ready for the biggest plot twist yet. We've seen cake as a noun, and we've seen it as an idea. But what if I told you it can also be an action? Yeah, let's look at the word's secret identity as a verb. This is a total game changer. When something is caked with mud, it means it's covered in this thick, dry layer. The word has completely transformed into a verb, an action of coating or covering something. This is probably the one you hear the least, but it's definitely the most surprising. Let's just put these two side by side to really let it sink in. On the left, cake is a thing, a noun, a cake of soap. But on the right, caked is what's happening to the shoes. It's a verb. It's the same root word, but it's playing 2 completely different parts in the sentence. That is some serious versatility. So this brings us all the way back to our original question. Why is this little chameleon of a word on a list of basic English words? Let's tie it all together. So, as we've seen, this one simple word is doing the work of 5. It's a noun for a dessert, for a savory food, or even for a bar of soap. It's an idiom that stands for the idea of ease, and it can be a verb that means to coat. And that right there is the big takeaway. The words on that basic English list weren't chosen because they're simple or one-dimensional. Not at all. They were chosen because they are powerful, multi-purpose tools. Their real value is their flexibility, their versatility. They let us say so much with so little. So the next time you hear a word you think is super simple, maybe give it a second thought. You might be blown away by all the different layers of meaning hiding just under the surface. It really makes you wonder, what other everyday words are secretly linguistic powerhouses? Thanks for watching.